Let's have a look, chat. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, they're not titled by Pyramid Head, are they? You know, I'd have to look for them based on their thumbnails. I had a really, really good one against a Pyramid Head. It was a while ago, though. Was it this one? Actually, this might have been. This might have been it, actually. Guide applies to every single map. Alright. Alright. Shape to design, the same thing will always apply. Relax, dude. Holy shit. Guy's freaking out. This is even his own map. I want to see if I can find an example. I remember this game being pretty good. Ah, speaking of which, someone's got home ground advantage. Alright, skip through. Wow, scary geometry head. I know there's a good example in this video. Oh, okay, or my internet could just be like, no. Did you put on auto? No. Okay, that's a good one. That is actually a good one. So chat, we know that Pyramid Head is chasing me right behind, right? This is what I'm talking about. We know he's behind me. I look behind, we can see the distance between Pyramid Head and me, right? We can see the distance, right? So we know that for a fact that I can't go and break away into a room on my left because it is risky. Because if there's not a guaranteed pallet there, even though I am fully healed. And so ahead of me, we notice the pallet, right? Cool. The pallet's in front of me. An easy way to get away from him or buy more time. So, okay, yeah, thanks. What do you mean? It's 1080p? What the fuck? Hello? What are you bugging out on me for? Okay, we're just gonna refresh this. 149. And we're gonna cooperate. Please cooperate. Right. So we know that right, the pallet's right in front of us. We hear him using his power. I'm listening from behind. I've heard that he's put his weapon into the ground, right? And the thing is, I see so many survivors get into this kind of scenario, right? And he's the guy who uses his power, but they run straight towards the pallet and then throw it down and then get hit. And then they go, Pyramid Head's busted. He's broken. And I'm just like, what do you mean he's broken? You literally just ran in a straight line and gave him a guaranteed hit. You might as well have just stood still and let him hit you. You literally just did the same thing. By you running through the pallet and pulling it down while he's using his power is the equivalent of you standing still being like, come hit me. Free hits here. Right? That's the thing I don't really understand, right? To beat a Pyramid Head, you're all about faking. Beating a Pyramid Head is 100% about faking. You're faking almost everything. But sometimes you're mixing it up and you're not faking things, you're actually committing. Because there'll be a point where you fake enough times that the Pyramid Head will learn and go, cool, well this time I'm just gonna run up to him and one him because I know he's gonna fake this window. It's at those points that you then vault the window and catch him off guard. It's when killers rotate between using their powers and then just, you know, chasing you and M1ing you or whatever, is when you then switch it up. And like that, and that's the thing, is like, okay, let's say that I flick away and then he hits me anyway, right? Regardless of which path I go, whether I run through, pull down the pallet, he uses his power and he hits me, or I fake it and then he hits me, I'm gonna get hit either way. So why would I take the path that gives me a 100% chance of getting hit when I can take the path that actually gives me a chance of getting away, aka the faking it and getting him to use his power and then dodging, which is exactly what I did here. So instead of running through the pallet, I ran towards it, faked it, he then used his power, I then run right through. So one, he's now slowed down because he just used his power. Two, I can then actually run through this pallet and go away and keep gaining distance and preserve the pallet. And three, I've now just figured out that he falls for fakes. I now just figured out that this Pyramid Head for fakes. So I just gained 4 important pieces of information and plays, which is already setting me up in figuring out ways and how to counter Pyramid Head. Ran right through. So look at how much distance I gained from him. I gained almost double the distance that he originally had on me when he used his power, just because I dodged.
Oh shit, he's still committing.
And now obviously I've got windows of opportunity. Luckily I had that all the time.
Did not think he'd commit.
Which is why it's also key to have map knowledge and information. There's so many things that play into looping. There's looking behind, there's knowing every single killer's power and how the average person plays that killer, what they do fall for, what they don't fall for based on their skill level. There's obviously map knowledge. There's a lot that plays into looping. That's why I can do all these things, because I combine all these key things together, and I've worked on all these key things individually. I've worked on looking behind myself. Have I run into a million trees and gotten downed? Yes, of course I have. Will you guys run into a million trees and rocks and get downed? Probably. But they got to a point where I knew the timings to look back at the killer, to see where he was, to see what he was doing, and make the correct plays based on the distance and obviously based on who the killer was.
Honey Pyramid Head, that's it. It's Honey Head. Love myself some Honey Head.
Let's see if we can find another example.
I hope you well there, Austin. Welcome on in. I saw a chest here as well, but
Of course this thing's gonna... Why I don't understand why this thing keeps bugging out. Huh? Can you not load a 1080p video? Monk? It's a fucking 1080p video. Why is my internet struggling that hard? Weird, champ.
that set was nasty. I know. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I was sitting there, I was like, I heard him charge it, and I was like, 1, 2, 3. He flicked right past me, and I was like, yes.
That's another thing as well. Counting. This is why when you play killer, it's important, chat. Because when you use your power, when you let's say you play Huntress, right? You play Huntress enough time, you throw enough hatchets, you know how long roughly you wind up a hatchet for before you throw it, based on the distance the survivor is at. So if a survivor's a few meters in front of you, you don't wind it up and then let go of it right away and then throw it, because it'll be a tiny small hatchet. So you'll hold it up and wind it up and then watch them move and then throw it, right? Which is why I can then run towards Shaq and I can actually listen to the Huntress wind up and go, okay, cool, and then count in my head really, really quickly about half a second to 1 second. I count my head and go 1, dodge. Right? Or I listen to 1 second to 1.5, because I know that she'll get there. She'll wind it up as she's pulling it off. That's about half a second. And then as she's roughly got it about halfway through her charge of a hatchet, that's a second. And I know at about that point, 1 second into her winding up that hatchet, I know she's going to throw it. Which is why I run forward. I don't need to look behind me and see where she is and have a chance of me running into a wall. And I flick out to the left. And then generally a Huntress will throw right down the line and go right through. If she's a good Huntress and she's patient, then I will flick out to the left and then flick and then run towards the pallet, but then flick out again to try and get her to throw it. But see, the thing is that if I know the Huntress is extremely patient, I would never take her to Shaq like that. That's the thing. If it's a Huntress that I know is not too patient, then I will take her to Shaq. Even though Huntress is most dominant when it comes towards Shaq, I will take her to Shaq knowing that there's a really high chance that I can pull this move off on her and it will work, because she's not patient. But if she's extremely patient, then I'm going to take her to a loop that Huntress can't throw over and abuse that against her and get her to continuously wind up until she stops winding up. Then I'm going to stun her. And then gain away, break distance, lose bloodlust, and waste her time. She's 110% movement speed killer. She's quite slow, which means she won't spend too much time on me. And if she does, she'll lose a few gens for it. That's what I mean. You need to analyze the skill of the killer at the start of the game. Really key and important. That's what I'm saying. As soon as I faked that pallet and that Pyramid Head, used his power right through it, he gave me almost all the information I need to know about his skill, about his rough skill level, and about how he plays, which was all I needed to then make the appropriate plays I did this entirety of the game. It's just me here.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep running.
I just kind of wish this video would actually cooperate with me and stop lagging.
You head off off somewhere? Nah, just my days off. I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. Why would you?
Like, and so that's another thing I test. Okay, that's a perfect example right there. Why did I fake the window? Can someone actually? Does anyone actually know? Does anyone actually know why I faked the window? Anyone? It's similar to what I was talking about with the first thing you did at the start of the game. Why would I do it? To draw a swing? Yeah, possibly. To see if he would use his power? Yeah. That's another one. See if he'd fall for it, right? To see if he would fall for it, and to see, like, because think about it, he was close enough to get a hit on me, right? We could tell he was close enough to get it. I would have made this with this window I'm coming to right now. Either way, he would have hit me, right? So why would I take the pathway that's going to give him a 100% chance of hitting me? Does that make sense? What's our goal from the way we were heading? We were heading towards this window because I know that it's a window that is somewhat safe, and I know that if Pyramid Head runs right, I can then run left and then curve around and go off and find better loops, right? So I was coming to this window from the beginning. But my problem is that Pyramid Head is right behind me. And he's going to hit me before I can make this window. Right? But I see another window to my right. So if I know that he's going to hit me, and I have two options. I have one option. I run straight down the corridor and try and make this window, and he hits me because he's close enough to do so. And it's guaranteed. Or I can try and fake this window and see if he falls for it to try and help me gain some distance and to help me further gauge his skill level, and then give me some distance to then make this window. I mean, why not? There's a chance he'll fall for it, and why would I take the pathway that's a 100% chance of me getting hit when I can fake this window and have a chance of me getting away? Why not? What do I have to lose? Either way, I'm going to get hit, right? Just one of them has a higher chance than the other. Might as well take it, which is why I did. We'll go back. We'll go back a bit.
Living the dream, that's it. You head off somewhere? Nah, just my days off. I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Right. We can tell roughly now that he's probably at just about at the corner behind me. I can kind of tell by his distance he had on me. Which means sprint around here, he gets the M1 on me trying to make this window. So I'm like, cool. I can sprint down here, he can M1 me, guaranteed. Or I can try faking this and then, you know, trying to get enough distance to then make the window to my... See, if he's a good killer, he wouldn't fall for it. He would just chase me and M1 me. He wouldn't, like, swing, because he knows that if... Well, he should know that if I vault this window, where am I going to go? There's a wall next to me and there's an open door right there. He'll just watch me vault it, then run around and smack me. I can't do anything. It's a dead end, right? Which is obviously why I'm not going to take it. So if the Pyramid Head didn't fall for that, then that would give me information going, okay, he's not too stupid. He's actually, you know, he knows what's up. Which means that I won't make plays like this knowing that he's not going to fall for it. I won't put myself into a position like this where I know that he's going to just end up hitting me, right? But based on his plays before, I was like, I can see if I can fake this, and let's test, because I'm fully healed. What have I got to lose? He's going to M1 me. Big whoop. I can take 2 hits before I go down. Let's fake it. And he fell for it. I got the distance. I made the window. He's got Bloodlust. I then curve around the right, and he used his power thinking I was going to run back towards the middle. I've now gained more distance going up the stairs.
What the hell are you aiming for? That's sure as shit ain't me.
So now I'm waiting for him, letting him know that I'm waiting, which he can then assume as cockiness. And but at the end, it continues to make him chase. And based on the distance I have on him here, and the fact that I've run past the loop... Okay, hang on, I'll let this play through. The reason why I take this window, chat, okay? Some of you might be going, well, you just took a window. He could have used his power and downed you. The reason why I took the window is because I ran through a loop, right? And he lost line of sight of me when I ran through the loop, which means I know that on his mind right now, he's going to be thinking about, oh, is he running around this loop? So he might take it wide to try and cut me off, right? Not thinking that I'm going to take the window. So by the time he gets around and then sees me going for the window, I'm already vaulting it to when he's using his power. And then it's just a matter of me then dodging his swing, knowing that he's going to be predicting where I am through the wall. So I'll vault the window and then stand still and then watch his power go through the walls to where I would have been if I had kept running, knowing that that's where he's going to aim. To which, see, Pyramid Head realized his mistake and then ran to the wall and then had to break it.
I don't know, dude. I just know the map really well.
So knowing that the Pyramid Head is not the greatest Pyramid Head, seeing him use his power, I knew that I could then run at the corner of the doorway and stand there. And he just used his power right through the wall, thinking I would keep running. So I've already got an accurate skill gauge of how skilled this Pyramid Head is, and the plays that I can make based around it. How many pallets I'm preserving and saving, and how he's playing. I don't even need to run to the loop there because I have enough distance on him, knowing all the pallets I have around me. I'm changing up my pathing and confusing him. Did you see that? Did you see the way that he came behind me through there and he's like, oh, he's going to run for a pallet. And he started using his power, but I ran up like the stairs or the slope, and he got super confused and he lost me. I just kept running. I haven't thrown a single pallet yet. I haven't thrown a single pallet since coming down the hallway, coming down through here, avoiding his hit he originally did here, back around through there, back around up here, back around up here. I haven't used a single pallet yet. But I've wasted so much of his time. Because I know the layout of the map, I know how he plays, and I know how I can confuse him just through simple, you know, moves such as changing my direction of pathing and not going towards loops. I want you to enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, too easy, Peter. Thanks for stopping by.
Focused on me staying around loops. This guy sucks at breaking away.
So breaking away is
this guy so much.
Breaking away is this Pyramid Head's biggest weakness. He doesn't know how to play against someone who breaks away. He's so used to people staying at loops.
Honestly, he's got no idea what to do against someone who breaks away.
He's been struggling this whole time. How many pallets have I not given him? Once again, ran to the corner, faked it. He then used his power right through. Rounded up there, I then ran left instead of running backwards, knowing he'd use his power. Gaining distance, haven't given him a single pallet. Again, faked it back, knowing that he would use it. Because he's desperate, he's panicking. I'm breaking away, I haven't given him any pallets. Gens are going, he's rushing, he wants it down, I'm injured, he thinks it's easy. He's making mistakes. I'm running. Okay, another beautiful example. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful example. Right? Right here. I'm looking at him. He's using his power. I'm running through a pallet, right? I now know that he's going to use his power, right? It's either I run through the pallet and he uses his power and he gets it guaranteed down. I know he's panicking. I know gens are going through. I know he's desperate to catch me because he spent the majority of the game chasing me. He's premature with his swings. I know that I can either run through the pallet and get guaranteed down, which why the hell would I do that? Or I can run through and fake it like I've been doing the entire game and that he's been falling for the entire game and get away, which is exactly what I did. Ran towards the pallet, faked it.
This is just my general map knowledge.
Didn't give him the pallet. Still haven't given him the pallet.
Nice.
Finally catches me because I make a mistake.
Big boy, only the tip.
Let's see. I'll cut through, skip a bit.
So predictable. I understand how I want to
Have a look.
I would say game. Mr. Kruger is very yeah, we're in trouble. You're gone. You're not gone somehow. I wanted that to be fast forward and I screwed it up. Ah, it sucks.
Once again, ran through the pallet, faked it. Faked it, knowing that he would predict where I'm going to go.
your smack through dead hard, mister. You and your smack through dead hard.
Obviously, there are going to be a few mistakes that I will make because you can't be completely perfect at looping. Hey Van, welcome on in.
Come on, Kanna, come on.
I'm dead.
Fun killer. I enjoy Pyramid Head. I actually enjoy playing against a Pyramid Head.
I think there was a really good moment at the end of this, actually.
GTC! I love it. Go Dwight, now's your chance.
Hey Shortney, welcome on in.
That's hilarious. I don't want to run to the wires, he'll slap me. Now, you better hide, Dwight. Big white.
I'm doing well. I'm just explaining some things to chat.
I love the way he just gets there and slaps. She tries to save me and just gets instant slapped. It's amazing. Oh, she found him. I want to open the door. And I want to see if the thing opens. I think it should. Yes. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Shit's looking cool.
I'm pretty sure there's another example right at the end. Hey Corrupt. I hope you're well.
Oh god. No Pyramid Head! Ah, don't drop him. That's dirty. Help! Go Dwight! Cruel!
Ran to the window, faked it. Ran to this, faked it.
Oh, thank fuck.
I got a perfect fake, chat. Again, another situation. Why? You have two choices, chat. Pyramid Head's behind me. Okay? Pyramid Head's behind me. I know for a fact, an absolute fact, that if I vault that window, I'm dead. Dead as fuck. That's a guaranteed hit. So why do people vault it? Why do people vault it in situations like this and panic and go, oh, window, help me? Window's not gonna fucking help you. Pyramid Head's just gonna smack you right through it with his power. So considering that I faked him all game, I wanted to make this one really convincing, especially since he's been especially since more towards halfway towards this game, towards the end, he started doing a lot longer fakes, right? So he's now showing me that he's starting to take a little bit more time with his power, right? So now that I know that, like a huntress, he's being a lot more patient, and therefore I need to make my fakes. Thanks, you follow Dragon, by the way. I need to make my fakes a lot more convincing. They need to be a lot more convincing for him to fall for it now that he's taking his time. In this specific situation, Dead Hard's gone. Dwight's on the floor. He's chasing me. I've got a window in front of me and the exit right in front of me with no pallets whatsoever around me, no Dead Hard to save me, which means I have two choices, right? We know that he's using his power, okay? We know that he's started holding his power for a little bit longer, so we know that he's a bit more patient with it, which means if I'm going to fake this, it's going to have to be a really, really good fake. I have to really make him believe I'm going to vault this, right? But I also know that out of these two pathway choices, one of them, which is the vaulting the window straight away without any faking, is a guaranteed down. 100% guaranteed down. So, like I've been saying this whole time, I'm obviously not going to take it. I'm not going to take the vault because I don't want to go down, right? I'm going to take the other pathway, which is try and do the most convincing fake I can, and then try and get him to use his power and miss, so I can then run around and get away. What happens? I fake it. He uses his power. I leave. I get away. I get away because of the fake. Like, either way, there's a chance of me going down. One of them is guaranteed. The other one is, you know, not guaranteed that I'm going to go down. I'm going to choose the pathway that's not guaranteed. I'm going to run towards the window, fake it, get him to use his power, or, you know, because there's a chance that he could have just respected and been even more patient and not have used his power at all. He could have cancelled his power and then downed me, right? But at least I know that there is a chance that he might use his power and that I do get away, right? Which is what happened. I was, quite lucky that he used his power and I faked it. I then got away and got out. I escaped and survived. Because I took the pathway that wasn't guaranteed. That's why looping's so hard to explain, because there's so many different ways to play against different, like that's just one killer. That's just one killer that I played in that specific way based on how he was playing. You get a good pyramid head that's playing really, really well. I'll change it up completely compared to all of that because he's good and he knows what he's doing. It's a lot harder. He went to the windows to fake the last. Yeah, because he was being patient. He was being so patient. I had to really be convincing with my window fake. So many options, so many choices, but with your knowledge and information of the game and how the killer works and how people play him and judging how this pyramid head had been playing throughout the whole game, giving me enough knowledge and information to then make the appropriate plays, we were able to escape. Like, this is something you won't just pick up instantly. You can't just pick these things up and start, being a god. These things will take you hundreds and thousands of hours that you will learn if you play both sides. Like, you don't have to be a killer main. You don't have to be a killer main. You can be a survivor main, whatever, right? But if you play a little bit of killer and you have those moments where you see that there's a guaranteed throw for Huntress. Let's say a survivor runs down the line and you throw a hatchet and you hit them. You're like, cool, that was an easy guaranteed hit. You now know as survivor not to take that pathway because it's a guaranteed hit. Or if you are going to take that pathway, then you know that the Huntress is going to throw down the line, which means you can actually flick out to the left, just like I did in our previous game before, and the hatchet will go right past you and you'll get away. Why? Because you have two choices. One, you run down the line, she throws the hatchet at you and you go down. Or two, you run down, you wait for her to wind up, you give it a second, then you flick out knowing that she's going to throw down the line, thinking that you're going to try and run around the corner, but you know that. You're going to choose the pathway where there's a chance of you getting away. You're not going to choose the pathway where you're guaranteed to go down. You're going to choose the pathway where there's a chance of you getting away. And maybe she's a good huntress, and maybe you do flick out to the right and she downs you anyway. Bad luck, right? But at least you took the pathway that gave you a chance of getting away, instead of taking the one that is a guaranteed down. Like, I know that some of this seems sort of simplistic, but like I said, these things are really, really difficult to explain. If you play DBD enough and you learn these things and you give yourself a chance and you understand and you watch the YouTube videos and you analyze them, you'll pick up that the plays I do are for a reason. Almost every single play I do has a purpose behind it, for an intent to either get information about how skilled the killer is and how they're playing, or to test them, right? Obviously that is depending on who the killer is and so on and so forth, like I've said throughout this whole time. This is why I have a hard time explaining looping, because sometimes I feel like I overlap myself with saying the same thing several times. And it's also why I like to upload these to YouTube and try and find the good gameplays where I can show to you and explain what I'm doing, why I'm playing like this, and what this means. And then if you look and analyze, you can go, great, I see that Uncharted did this because he could have gone this way, but if he went this way, the killer was going to get him based on the distance. So he made this play to then see if he could gain distance to also gauge their skill, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Now, I don't play like this every single time because it is exhausting to play like that for me personally, because I've done it for thousands of hours. But you'll still see it. I still do it for a lot of my plays, but sometimes I'll just be boosted and just do some dumb shit without thinking about it. Okay. I hope that helps some of you. Thank you guys for watching. Just a quick reminder that I do stream every single day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. GMT plus 10. Links will be in the description below. Come over from the YouTube community over into the Twitch stream. I'd love to see some more of you guys come in and say hi. That'd be really lovely and amazing. And again, thank you all so much for watching.